Hi friends, welcome or welcome back to Leonyx Tarot. Today's pick a card reading is going to be what is your superpower, or what draws others to you. We have 3 piles to choose from. Pile 1 has this labradorite crystal heart, and pile 2 has this blue howlite. And then pile 3, I don't actually know what crystal this is, but I've been calling him the little purple one. And there are flecks of blue, gold, green and purple in there. So those are your 3 piles to choose from. Feel free to pause the video if you feel like you need to do so, and I will see you in your reading. Hi pile 1. So this is your reading if you chose the labradorite heart. I'm going to pop him over there. So we've got some oracle cards for you, and this is kind of going to offer an overview of what your superpowers are, whether they are known to you or hidden. So bear with me, and then we'll use the tarot to get a bit more information. So we have new moon in Scorpio, go deeper. And we have a time for healing, balsamic moon. And we have it's time to take action, new moon in Aries. Originally I was only going to get 1 of these, but 2 came out for you. And we also have purpose with desert wishbone. So I'm going to pop him in there. So pile 1, you have a way of being able to see deeply into situations. You don't take things at surface level, and you have this way of being able to go deep in your own healing and how you connect with others. But you also know when it's time to take action as well. And you may be very much in tune with your purpose in this lifetime as well. And just as additional confirmation, the zodiac signs of Aries and Scorpio may be significant to you. You may have these as placements in your own chart, or someone that you're close to or who has a significant role in your life may have these placements as well. But take that if it resonates, and don't let it take from you if it doesn't. You also have the ability to keep reinventing yourself and starting over whenever you feel like you need to, or whenever it's necessary, because I find it really interesting because the balsamic moon is just before the new moon, and it's very much a time of going within and looking at our deeper fears and our shadow selves, and allowing us to just take that time to just be and rest and really recharge our batteries before starting out anew and setting our new moon wishes. But then you've got 2 new moons here as well. So to me that very much signifies that this is predominantly part of your superpower, this ability to reinvent yourself and to start fresh, whether it be that you move a lot and start in a new home, or whether it be that you are constantly reinventing yourself through the healing work that you do on a regular basis, because the healing may be part of your soul purpose and soul mission that you're currently on, is to heal those patterns and things that have been handed down through the generations, and from any traumatic events that you may have experienced in this lifetime, or even those from previous lifetimes that have come forwards with you into this life that you are still healing from and going through. But yeah, it's just you're just in this constant state of evolving and changing and healing, and people really admire that about you, and your ability to just keep going no matter what life throws at you. You just kind of morph and change and adapt to whatever situation gets thrown your way. You may also do a lot of your healing by spending time in nature, because I keep being drawn to the imagery of these two cards here. And they're so green and just abundant and lush with life. But there's a duality to you between being able to be in nature, and also there's something about the night as well. So you may find that you are drawn to astrology or working with the moon. And with this particular card here, because once again it looks very similar to the stages of the moon that we've got present in the other cards, whether it be a new moon that's coming round, or whether it be the end of a cycle. There's something about that cyclical nature and being out under the night sky. So you may also be a night owl as well, and really kind of come to life when everyone else has gone to bed. That's your time to kind of wake up and feel more in tune with yourself, because we can get bogged down in the day-to-day, walking around in everyone's energetic suit, because everyone's awake and in the hustle bustle of life. Whereas at night, when everyone's asleep, the fears and anxieties of everyone else subsides, because we go back to, it's like a reset point when we go to sleep. It resets our vibrational set point, and how we think and feel when we first wake up then denotes what our energetic set point will be for the day, whether it be positive or negative. And that neutral time and zone could be really when you shine and come through. So we're going to use the tarot. Hopefully that will have given you a bit of insight as to whether this is your pile. And we're going to use the tarot to get a little bit more information, and I'm interested to see what it is that others really admire you for, whether it be this or something else. Although I think this is going to be quite a strong theme for you. So let's see. Spirit, what do others admire about pile 1, please? And we have the 8 of Fire. What do others admire about pile 1, please, Spirit? And we have the 3 of Water. What do others admire, please, Spirit, about pile 1? And we have the Lovers. And can I get one more, please, Spirit? What do others admire about pile 1? And we have the 7 of Fire. Oops, knocking things. Where am I going to put this? I need a bigger desk. Right. Hopefully you can still see that. Might need to move things up a little bit. So, on the back of the deck we have the 9 of Water. So yeah, pile one, others really admire your ability to quickly deal with situations, and as I said earlier about knowing when to take action. There's just something about the speed and the way that you hold yourself and communicate with others that they really admire, because you're very in touch with your emotions, and being able to communicate your emotions and really enjoying life. Because although you go through all of this healing and reinvention, you don't let anything get you down. There's always this sense of celebration with you, which helps you to find those harmonious and well-balanced relationships, not only with yourself but with others as well. And just being able to stand your ground in who you are, and knowing that you have everything that you need at your disposal, and being able to, there's this sense of emotional fulfillment by going through these changes and these reinventions. You don't let yourself be held back by anything. Yet there's a sense of stability to you as well. We have a lot of fire and water here, so they may be significant placements in your chart as well. But others see you as being very strong and passionate about what you do. It's almost this sense of being passionate about life. You're very passionate about your 3D life and being here on Earth, and the way that you live your life. You have this sense of liking the finer things of life and knowing what your emotional well-being needs, and what your passions are leading you to. There's a very strong sense of purpose here, and others acknowledge that and see that in you and admire it about you. And through all of the healing work that you've been doing, and constantly, it almost feels like a constant cycle of going through these phases of healing, but it's enabled you to find that balance within yourself, and the duality between the divine masculine and divine feminine, and you embody those. At least that's how you seem to others, that you have a very well balanced and well-rounded view of life, and the way that you solve problems and are able to really kind of stick it out and have that sense of, what's the word that I'm looking for? It's like a consistency, and being able to stand your ground and be sure of yourself and in your path. That's how you present to others. Whether or not you actually feel that way could be a completely different story, but that's how others are seeing you, because these are from the perspective of others. And we're going to use another small deck now to see how you see yourself, because it can be quite different from how others see us, and it will give you a little bit of insight as well, because there can be quite a contrast, and it'll also back up as to whether this is your reading as well, if you're sitting here thinking, that doesn't quite sound like me. So Spirit, how does pile one see themselves? How does pile one see themselves, please? How does pile 1 see themselves? Three of Pentacles. You may find yourself at times looking to others, I should say, for guidance and to almost learn from them. It's like you're, at times, it won't be all the time, but when you're having like an off day and you're going through one of your purges and healing sessions, you may doubt yourself and feel like you need to look to others for guidance and information because you don't quite trust your own judgment. And we also have the Four of Wands. But you do see yourself as being very stable and very happy in your home life. So your home may be very important to you, and how it's decorated or having people over. Could I get a little bit more, please, Spirit? How pile 1 see themselves? I wasn't going to read reversals, but this one came out in reverse, so we're going to keep it that way. And you may feel at times like you don't know. It's that sense of self-doubt, not knowing quite when to take action, or not being sure whether the action that you're taking is completely aligned and the action that you should be taking, even though I don't like using the word should, but it's kind of that sense of self-doubt and not feeling confident in the action steps that you take. As I say, our internal world and how others see us can be completely different. And we also have, on the back of the deck there, we have the Knight of Cups. You are you're led from your emotions and your heart. And I think that you know that and you see that in yourself. Being able to take, if you don't already, then it's important that you take the action towards the things that will bring you the most joy and the most emotional fulfillment as you're going forwards. But I think that you pretty much intuitively know that already, and that's how you live your life and how you see yourself. It also feels like you don't spend a lot of time in your head worrying about things or overthinking things. You're very much in your body and about taking action. And because we have, for how you see yourself, we've got 3 out of the 4 elements, because we have earth, fire and water, but there isn't any air here, which represents the mental state and the mental body. And even in how others see you, we've not had that element come out either. So you may struggle to stop and see things logically. So you may find that you can get quite easily hurt as well, because you live your life from the heart and from your emotional state and your passions and taking action in the physical world. If things kind of come along to knock you off course, although you can adapt and you're constantly evolving, you may not stop to plan things out before taking those action steps. It's almost like an instinctive and gut feeling that you follow all the time. So you may be seen as, you may be slightly impulsive. I don't think that that's how others see you, but you may have impulsive tendencies that you kind of, in a way, sort of keep under wraps. So we're going to use an oracle deck now to get you some advice and just kind of see what would be beneficial to you at the moment to support you, because who doesn't like an extra bit of self-care? But yeah, we're just kind of going to get some messages from Spirit and see what Spirit has to say to you. So Spirit, what would you like to say to pile 1? What would you like them to know? We have boundless love. Today I'll open my eyes a little wider and walk a little taller, noticing that the world around me is filled with tiny miracles. With this in mind, it's easy to fall in love over and over again with everything from honeybees to neon signs. And while I'm feeling this inspired and this in love, everything else sort of falls into place. And what else, Spirit? Oh, that is way too many. I'm going to take that one. So we also have independence. I embrace total independence and I see how empowering that is. Even when I'm in a relationship, I can still be independent by meeting my own needs and creating my own happiness. When I do that, I'm the fullest version of myself and I have much more me to give without needing pieces of me in return. And what else, Spirit? Is there anything else that you'd like to say to pile 1? Get one more, please, Spirit. And we have perspective. What does a hawk see when it flies over your house, besides the family of mice living nearby that you don't know about? What will your current problems, conflicts, complaints look like when you're 80 years old and you gaze back on the timeline of your life? In this moment, you are being given the gift of clear perspective, of knowing that in the end, everything is going to be probably much better than okay. Think large enough and big enough issues become small. Become an 80-year-old hawk and you're really onto something. And on the back of the deck we have tact. I speak and act with care, remembering that impulsive words or harsh tone can sometimes hurt others. If it feels like I'm walking on eggshells, I'll remind myself that those eggshells might actually be a shop full of china and I might actually be a ball. Then I'll remind myself to stop mixing metaphors. So yeah, I hope that resonates for you, pile 1. Thank you ever so much for letting me read for you, and I hope that you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching. Please feel free to like, comment or subscribe if you feel like doing so, as it all helps out the channel and you'll be notified of when my next video goes up. And I hope that you come back and see me again soon. Bye. Hi pile 2. This is your reading if you chose the blue howlite heart stone. I'm just going to pop that there. And we're going to use these oracle cards to kind of get an overview of what your superpowers are and what it is that draws other people to you. Then we're going to get into the tarot as well to get some more information for you. So new moon in Sagittarius, focus on the positive. And we also have prosperity lies ahead, new moon in Taurus. And we have intimacy with evening star. So to start off with, the zodiac signs that may be significant to you would be Sagittarius and Taurus, and they may be in your chart, or they may be in someone else's chart. This almost feels like you would be one side and someone else would be the other side with the intimacy between you, even though this wasn't set out as a relationship reading. This is supposed to be about your superpowers and what draws others to you. But there may be something about that duality within you between your divine masculine and divine feminine. Or we could be tapping into how one particular person sees you. But take that if it resonates and leave it if it doesn't. Don't let it take from you. But your superpower is in the way that you show up in your relationships and how you kind of nurture that intimacy and your intimate relationships, because you have a very positive outlook on life, and your positivity may kind of brush off on others, and you're kind of influencing them and helping to raise their vibration by them just being around you, because you're very abundant in all areas of life, but this could also be materialistically or financially, because Taurus is an earth sign, and it's very, very much about being steadfast and steady, and making that slow and steady progression. So it's something that is very stable and very much in the 3D and physical. And between these two cards here, they're making me think of the Northern Lights. And so it may be something that you desire to go and see, or it may be something that you live near, or that you come from. I can't remember what country it is that you can see them in. Oh, I should really do my homework, shouldn't I? If I find out where it is, I will put it in a subtitle on the video. I will try and remember to do that. But it could be where your family originally comes from, and there's some kind of link with that. And you may find that you've been going through a transformation, and others can see that, because we have 2 new moons here, which I hadn't really anticipated, if I'm honest. But there's something about starting afresh and starting anew as well. So it may be that you've been through something that would have had an impact on you emotionally, whether it be a relationship ending or a loss of a family member. But there's something about starting afresh and starting anew, and people being able to see how strong you've been through that, and the way that you've stayed in tune and had that intimacy connection with yourself as well. So you haven't lost touch with yourself because it is a grieving process. Regardless of the semantics of the situation, there is a grief process of the loss, and you've stayed true to yourself throughout the whole process. You haven't allowed it to change who you are or how you're presenting yourself to the world. You are still very much in tune and in touch with yourself during this whole time. And people are really admiring that about you and seeing that in you, because it is your superpower to be able to transform that and to stay in touch with who you are during that whole process, because it isn't easy. We can get lost in the grief and lost in missing what was, but you've stayed very present in the moment and focused on the positives that you have in life. You may even have a like keep a gratitude journal or have some kind of gratitude practice that you do on a regular basis as well. So we're going to use the tarot to see how others see you, and then we'll use another tarot deck to see how you see yourself, because it can be really helpful to see that the different perspectives, because they can be quite different. How we see ourselves is often very different to how others see us. So I'm still getting to grips with shuffling this deck because they're a bit bigger than what I'm used to. But let's see. So, Spirit, how do others see pile 2, please? How do others see my pile 2s? And we have Page of Earth. I wasn't going to read reversals for this one. Page of Earth and 8 of Water. How do others see 6 of Air? How do others see, whoops-a-daisy, my pile 2s? So, and Messenger of Water. And on the back of the deck we have the 8 of Fire. So you may be very good with your communication skills, and although you're starting out afresh with the new moons that we have here, and you may feel quite a novice at some aspect in your life, or they can, no, what am I doing? This is how others see you. There's acknowledgement of the new beginning and the baby steps that you are taking. It almost feels like building a new life, because there's something, people can see that there is something that, although you've had everything that you really need emotionally, they can see that there is something that has been missing, and you are wanting to move forwards and kind of refine that, and anything that doesn't quite serve you, you're leaving behind. You're taking the steps to release what doesn't serve you and to move forwards even further on your journey towards emotional fulfillment. Because there's almost a sense of, I love how this kind of, it almost looks like it's progressing, even though they're different suits, because you've got everything that you need to take with you, to take forwards on this journey. And as you do, and you leave behind the things that no longer serve you and that would be weighing you down, you're taking flight, because the ship is already there, the ship is coming in, and then you're progressing to be on that ship, taking flight and making that progress that you need to go to new lands and discover new things and discover new places and new depths of yourself as well. Because you're very emotionally in tune. You're very emotionally in tune with who you are and what your needs are as well. And there's also something that feels significant about the placement of the Eight of Fire on top of the Messenger of Water. You may find that people really appreciate how you speak to them because you come from a place of love when you do so. There's a sense of compassion and really wanting to help others. Although they can see the journey that you're on and the new beginning that you're starting for yourself, that's going to lead to a deeper sense of emotional fulfillment for you. You still communicate with passion and compassion for others. At the same time, it's like you're overflowing with love and care for others, as well as being on this journey for yourself. And that's what others really admire about you and what really draws them to you, because they find you an inspiration. So we're going to use another deck. We're going to use this small one here, just to kind of check in and see how you're viewing yourself at the moment as well. So, Spirit, how does pile 2 see themselves, please? How does pile 2 currently see themselves? How does pile 2 currently see themselves? Okay, those want to come out. And we have 5 of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups that have come out together. You may feel like you are quite isolated in some way. And you feel like you're having to wait. There's a sense of feeling like the time isn't right, like your emotional fulfillment is going to take some time to get to you. That's how you're feeling about it at the moment, or how you're seeing it. Like there's a sense of needing to wait for your desires to come through and to have that celebration, and being able to kind of really share that with others. So you may be going through training at the moment, so you can't yet share those things, those gifts that are going to bring you your emotional fulfillment, because you're waiting and going through the training right now. But it is divinely guided and you are on the right track. And we also have the Lovers and the Ace of Pentacles. So yeah, you're feeling very imbalanced with yourself at the moment, which has been coming out throughout the reading as well. Very imbalanced with yourself and with this new beginning that you're on. It feels like how people are seeing you and how you see yourself are very closely linked. And so you're seeing yourself quite clearly, which is really nice to see, because it means that you're being authentic in the way that you're showing up with others and how you're presenting yourself. You're not trying to put a front on it or anything like that. And we have the Ten of Pentacles on the back of the deck. So yeah, you're very much on track with everything, and you can see clearly that there might be a lag and a waiting period before before your Ten of Pentacles come to fruition and your emotional fulfillment with the Queen of Cups. But you're being very intuitive and fluid about it, and very accepting of the reality of the situation that you're in. And you're just doing a fantastic job of it, Pile 2, in all honesty. Yeah, very authentic in who you are, and very balanced in your relationship with others, and also how you relate to yourself as well, which is leading you to some really good things. So yeah, keep doing what you're doing. We're going to use this Oracle card deck because it seems very straightforward. So I'm not kind of going to dwell too much on how you see yourself, because I think you're very kind to yourself and very, very gentle. If there's anything that kind of presents a stumbling block, then you are very self-accepting, which is a brilliant way to be. So, and I'm very proud of you, Pile 2. So we're just going to get some advice with these before we close out your reading. So, Spirit, what advice do you have for Pile 2, please? What advice do you have for Pile 2? What advice do you have, please, Spirit, for Pile 2? We have 2 here. So we have benefit of the doubt. Believe in the basic goodness of other people. Oh, I believe in the basic goodness of other people, sorry. And I give them the chance to show it. If they prove me wrong, that's on them. At least I can go to sleep knowing that I practice trust and forgiveness rather than fear and doubt. And later on, if I need to, I can always change my mind and retroactively judge them like it's my career. So yeah, you're very forgiving of others as well. And we also have compliments. I know how good it feels to get a compliment, so I give that gift to others. I'll find a nice compliment for everyone I interact with today, even if I have to think really hard about it, in which case I can follow up by complimenting myself for solving such a compliment puzzle. Wow, I'm skilled. And what else, Spirit? Can I get another one, please? What advice do you have for my Pile 2s? And we have giving. I welcome the idea of give and take in my relationships. I eagerly practice the give part. By giving freely, I discover how fun giving really is. Giving my time, care and attention to someone else actually gives me good feelings, which makes me want to give even more. Wait a sec, does this selflessness make me look selfish? Be honest. So, and then we're going to see what's on the back of the deck as well. I'm just going to move these up. And on the back of the deck we have rest. I take a step away from my stress, and then a deep breath, and then a crankiness killing nap. I don't know why I couldn't read crankiness for a second there. When I get the rest I need, I instantly become a better version of myself, able to navigate complex relationships in a single bound. When I don't, I'm not, which means I shouldn't, but I try to. And then we can't, and it doesn't, but I did, so it wasn't. Good night. So make sure you're getting enough rest, Pile 2, because we all have those moments where we just can't seem to function because we haven't had enough rest and self-care. So with all the new beginnings that you're going through and the training that you're doing, make sure that you take time to rest and rejuvenate as well. And thank you so much for letting me read for you. I think that's where I'm going to leave your reading, and I hope that you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching this, and I'm sending you so much love. If you feel like doing so, please feel free to like, comment or subscribe. It all helps out the channel, and it will allow you to be notified of when the next video goes up. And yeah, I hope that you will come back and see me again soon. Bye. Hi Pile 3, welcome to your reading. So this is going to be your reading if you chose this little purple guy with all these little facets. So I'm just going to pop that up there. We're going to use these oracle cards to kind of get an overview of what your superpower is and what draws others to you, and then we're going to get into the tarot as well to kind of get a bit more information. So you have the full moon in Virgo, take inspired action, and you have the energy is gaining momentum with the waxing moon, and we have visualization with petunia. I don't know how I'm going to fit these all in. We have opportunity, night blossoming jasmine, and we have a transformation with angel's trumpet. So let me shuffle these around and make a little bit more space. I think we can just squeeze those in there. So you have quite a lot of superpowers, I think, here, Pile 3. You're the only pile to get 3 of these cards, which I hadn't anticipated, but they all came out in one go, and Spirit said that I should keep them. You have a way of creating your own opportunities and transformation, and really kind of gaining momentum. You may use visualizations and things like that, but you're very in tune with your heart center and your higher self as well. But you also very much sit in your solar plexus, where your willpower is, and your ability to really take action and have the energy to see them through as well. Because you've got the, oh my goodness, you've got so much going on. This is the only card that doesn't really have a lot of colours that are popping out to me. We've got the yellow here for your solar plexus, the pink and green here, which both represent your heart chakra. But I think you're quite well rounded as well, because we've got a rainbow of colours that are coming out from this full moon in Virgo, and it's making me think of the aura and the different layers of the aura as it comes out from the body, because we have our physical, we have our physical body, but then we also have coming out in our aura fields and energetic bodies. They have different layers to them, and the different layers represent the different energetic bodies that we have. And that's what it's making me think of. So you may be very in tune with energies and reading people and situations as well. For zodiac signs, you may have a Virgo placement, or someone close to you may have a Virgo placement as well. But every time that you take action, it comes from a very inspired place, and the purple in this card is making me think of your higher chakras, like your third eye and your crown chakra, but more so your third eye. So the action that you take may be very in tune and divinely guided from your higher self and from spirit. But you have this way of really building a solid foundation, and things just going from strength to strength when you put your mind to it. And that's very much what people admire about you and what your superpower is. You seem to be able to achieve anything that you put your mind to, and that you want to bring to fruition. You have this really deep connection with your own personal power, and I think that that's something that people really admire about you as well. And you may be able to get things done quite quickly, because we have 2 full moons over here in a way, because we have the full moon card here, but also in this visualization card we also have another full moon in the imagery here as well. But then over this side we have waxing moon, which is more to do with that first week after the new moon, which would be like, I think it's the waxing crescent, but generally the waxing phase of the moon. So it could be, because we've got the full moon over this side and then the waxing moon over this side, it could be very important for you to remember to slow down and to take the opportunity to really take that time to rest and review what you've achieved. Because if you're rushing from one project to the next, and because your energy feels very much like a go-getter and very much in your power, don't forget to celebrate those wins along the way. It's just a side note that's coming through. So we're going to use the tarot to see, first of all we're going to look at how other people see you. So we're going to see how they see you and what they admire about you. And then we're going to use another tarot deck to see how you see yourself as well, because it's really important to see the different aspects of ourselves, because it can be quite different how someone else sees us as to how we see ourselves. So it's important to take a look at those as well. So Spirit, how do others see my pile 3s, please? How do others see my pile 3s? King of Air. How do others see my pile 3s, please? How do others see my pile 3s? 2 of Earth. I get some more, please, Spirit. And how others see, how others see my pile 3s. 4 of Fire. I think I'm going to try and squeeze one more in. Can I get another one, please, Spirit? And how my pile 3s are seen by others. And we have the 6 of Water. So just going to shuffle these along. So others see you as being very fixed in your mindset and the way that you see things and how you go about things. But they do see how balanced you are. There's a sense of balance and stability to you that everyone admires and sees. And there's a sense of nostalgia, so there may be people that are no longer in your life that are still watching you from afar, and there's this sense of nostalgia in that they wish that they were still in your life and that they still played an active role in it, and they could play a closer witness to what it is that you are really embodying and the life that you are creating for yourself. And with the Temptation card here, they may see you as being a bit of a workaholic, like you can't seem to, there's no off switch, you're constantly on the go. And although that there's a part of that draws others to you, like they feel drawn in and inspired by your ability to to constantly be on the go and to constantly be achieving and doing. As a side note, there's also a warning here to make sure that you aren't being drawn into being a workaholic to your own detriment, because it can take away from other aspects of life if you're constantly working and have no downtime to spend with friends and family, and to constantly be up in your head rather than acknowledging your emotions. It can be to your detriment, so be careful of and mindful of that, pile 3. But on the whole, everyone sees you, or what they admire about you is your stability and your steadfastness in taking these actions. But you are seen as very much being in your mental space and being very fixed about how you see things and how you go about things in life as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how you see yourself, which we are going to use this small deck for, because it almost feels like you don't want to hang around. You've come here for the reading, but also you've got other things to be doing, so you want it to be kind of snappy. So let's see what comes out in this part. How does pile 3 see themselves, Spirit? 4 of Pentacles. Yeah, you may not want to relinquish control and let go, because you may fear that if you were to stop, then everything would fall apart around you. What else, Spirit? How does pile 3 see themselves, please? How does pile 3 see themselves? And 6 of Pentacles. Yeah, you want to share your gifts with others. It's part of that achieving and goal mentality that you have. But you see yourself as overflowing with abundance and being able to really share those gifts with others. And we also have the Tower, which can often mean that things are going to tumble down, and you're going to have to rebuild without having much choice about it. And I think that you can see that, pile 3. You can see that if you keep going the way that you are, then you're going to burn out and you're going to have to rebuild, because if you don't take that time to rest and rejuvenate, then it can lead to burnout or some kind of breakdown, and it's not going to serve you in the long run to keep going as you are. And I think that you're quite aware of that. Can I get another one, please, Spirit? How pile 3 see themselves. And we also have the Queen of Wands. So yeah, this is, you see yourself very much in, it's almost through a lens of achievement and what you have in the material world that you don't want to let go of or lose. And it's very much about your passions and being able to create that for yourself. And we also have the Knight of Wands. Yeah, it's very much a fast, it's almost a conflict between fast-moving energy and slow-paced progression. And you may find that you may see yourself as being quite impulsive at times and wanting to get things done quickly, but you also have a way of adapting as well, so that you're constantly on the move and constantly achieving things, which is very much how you see yourself, as this dynamic person that can keep going and keep getting things done, But I think that there is a wake-up call happening deep within you that knows that you can't constantly be in a state of doing and that you need to take that time for rest. So we're going to use these to get some advice for you before we end your reading, pile 3. So Spirit, what advice do you have for my pile 3s, please? I know we've covered a lot already. What advice do you have for my pile 3s? What advice do you have for my pile 3s, please, Spirit? What advice do you have for my pile 3s? You may not take advice very easily because there's almost a reluctance for the cards to come out. So you may not take it well if others try and give you advice. You may take it as that they are trying to tell you what to do. When that isn't necessarily the case, they may just be concerned about your well-being. So, advice for pile 3. Independence. I embrace total independence and I see how empowering that is. Even when I'm in relationship, I can still be independent by meeting my own needs and creating my own happiness. When I do that, I'm the fullest version of myself, and I have much more me to give without needing pieces of me in return. I think that's important for you to know, that it's okay to lean on others, because you're not going to lose yourself by allowing others to support you. What else, Spirit? What else for my pile 3s, please? What advice do you have for them? What advice do you have for my pile 3s, please, Spirit? What else do they need to know? And we have appreciation. I appreciate the unique ways other people show their love rather than compare their ways with mine. Then I appreciate myself for maturely putting up with people who just can't seem to show love the normal, obvious, universally accepted way. Good job, both of us. Yeah, I think that's about how other people are showing up in your life and how they're trying to support you. So you may need to be a little bit more open to accepting that people aren't going to see things your way all the time, or they may not process and deal with things the same as what you do. So what else, please, Spirit? What else for my pile 3s? Can I get one more, please? Can I get one more? And we also have rest, which I think is really important for you, pile 3. So I take a step away from my stress, and then a deep breath, and then a crankiness killing nap. When I get the rest I need, I instantly become a better version of myself, able to navigate complex relationships in a single bound. When I don't, I'm not, which means I shouldn't, but I try to, and then we can't, and then it doesn't, but I did, so it wasn't. Good night. And it's really important for you to get your rest, because it's going to help your relationships and the way that you interact with others a lot. We all get cranky when we're tired. There is nothing to be ashamed of in that. But it's really important for you to take that as part of your self-care practice going forwards. We also have on the back of the deck, integrity. I align with the center of myself, a glowing core of personal integrity. Emanating from this core is the knowledge that I never have to compromise who I am or what I want for anybody. I can live a life that doesn't include settling unless I want to settle, in which case settling would be my idea of perfection and would cease to be considered settling. Paradoxes hurt. So yeah, you don't need to feel like you're settling just because you are taking a step back and taking that time to rest. It's more of a way to look after yourself and and to really allow that duality of yourself to come through, because you may find it really helpful to focus more on being in your feminine energy and allowing things to come to you rather than being in your masculine and going out and getting them, because you've mastered the masculine energy of being in your power and getting out there and achieving things. Now it's time to allow yourself to rest and soften. It doesn't mean that it's going to compromise your integrity or who you are, or you won't lose yourself in this process, because that masculine part of you will always be there. But it allows that duality to come in and allows you to soften and be in your gratitude, to surrender and allow things to be magnetized to you, because there is power in that as well, pile 3, which is really important for you to hear right now. So I hope that this has been really helpful to you, and that it's resonated and you've got some insight there. Thank you ever so much for letting me read for you, and I'm sending you so much love. Please feel free to comment, like or subscribe if you feel like doing so, because it all helps out the channel and you'll be notified of when my next video goes up. And I hope that you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching this, and I hope that you will come back and see me again soon. Bye.